Well, we're having a cold front come through, and that usually means some storms and rain before it gets really cold. So I think the rain's pretty much over, so that's good. And it'll probably get really cold by the time evening arrives. So a little bit of a drizzle, not too bad. Hopefully it won't get too much any stronger. A little drizzle's not going to bother me. Just gonna go out for a short hike in the beautiful woods. And here's one of the endangered gopher tortoise holes. A lot of animals rely on this nest here for shelter too. It's not just for turtles. Boy, the birds are sure happy today. They're whistling a lot. It's probably because there's probably another storm coming through, and they need to get some food before the rain comes. I guess that's my guess. But it's nice to hear the songs in the woodlands. Interesting plant life, fungi life in this part of the woods, and grows all over the place. Sometimes it dries out a little bit, but when it rains they get bright green. I believe this one here is called Old Man's Beard. It grows really long. Um, there's all kinds of lichens and moss growing all over here. It's kind of cool. Interesting fungi. It's known as an earth star. If an animal steps on it, this area here is full of spores to spread out more seeds, for a better name. I don't know what spores, I guess, so that they can move and propagate. It's kind of interesting. It looks kind of cool. Here's another one. Has a little bit more color to it on the sides. So there's really a lot of interesting stuff when you stop and look around on the floor of the forest. You could really see some cool stuff sometimes. Another interesting plant that kind of is kind of cool for Florida. You know, Florida is known for being humid and wet, but we do have our cacti. Here's prickly pear here. They're pretty abundant in the forest around here, and they have some fruits that come out that the endangered gopher tortoises really like a lot. So it's kind of cool to see you know, little fruits on there. And if you're ever lucky enough to see a gopher tortoise in the woods, that's always good medicine too. There's several ranches and farms nearby, so you hear the crowing of the rooster a lot in this area in the forest. I don't know if you can see this on the video because there's so much dense forest, but this is an area where we go through some rolling sand hills, you know, up like 90 feet, up 80 feet, up and down, up and down. As you can see the horizon here, it's up high here. Now I'm heading down. So it's It's kind of nice to have a little bit of variety in the geography, because most of Florida is just like strictly flat, so it's kind of nice to have little walking on these rolling hill type trails that were sand hills, because they were basically the ancient beaches, you know, when back in the geological times, you know, it always changes over time. You can see some more rolling sand hills in the distance over there too. If you come out here kind of towards the end of the day, when evening starts, you usually see a few deer out in this little prairie here. Everything grows on everything around here. On the trees, on the floor, the forest. It doesn't matter. There's always something growing on something. Moss, the carpet of the forest floor. And I remember, this reminds me of the 1970s green carpet we had in our house, which didn't really vibe real well in the decorating world, I would say for sure. 70s were a weird time for decorating. Some victims of tropical storms and hurricanes. Always stay on trail. If I can get it on here, let me get a little bit closer. I believe these are called shelf fungi. They look like little shells you can put things on. So maybe the elves use these as shells, pun intended. The bird songs, my favorite music in the world. This is when things get dangerous. I'm on the official trail here, but there's definitely a trail here and down here, and it doesn't look like a game trail. Looks like another trail someone made, but I'm not going to go down that road. I have had a few experiences getting lost in the woods, so I'm staying on the main trail. But it sure is tempting to want to explore to my right and to my left. Heading onward. It's always nice to come out here after you've had a lot of rain, because all the green just greens up. The lichens, the moss, the leaves. It's all just beautiful, wonderful, and amazing. Good medicine. And here's more fungi all over the place. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We call it reindeer moss, but I think it has a more official name.